Exciting.
It is. All righty. Thanks everybody for joining me. We are in and we're ready to go. No technical difficulties this time. We are pleased and honored today to have a special episode where we're going to learn a brand new game. Volters lead the way, and we actually have the man, the legend, the myth, Mr. Hermann Luttmann,
Hey,
aka
everybody.
Luttmann, with us here today. So we're going to
Awesome.
be learning how to play Volters Lead the Way, Battles of the 324th Volters Regiment. So,
Yep.
what exactly is this game there, Mr. Luttmann?
Well, veterans of In Magnificent Style and Crowbar will recognize it, or at least recognize the basic setup. So it's a push your luck science fiction combat game. There are a few new twists to this one compared to the other games, but I mean the basic premise is the same. You're trying to take your 9 squads, push them up that board. I don't know. Is the board up on the screen now? I
It is
don't know.
not yet,
Oh,
no.
okay.
But
Um,
we'll show them the board here in a little bit.
yep. And you're trying to get not only through the alien defenders, but you're actually going to try to keep them from blowing up the planet. So that's done through the Doomsday device markers. You're going to try to identify them and control the countdown so that you can actually defuse the bomb in time.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
and the game we're going to have right now is Martian Mayhem. So that's actually takes place on Mars. There's another scenario, another map for the moon, and that has some other little twists to it. There's a
Oh,
lot of variety in this game, which I think, as you pointed out before, is probably a big selling point for it. It's no two games will ever be the same, simply because of the way it's set up. And then, even if you play one scenario to death, you have another one to play.
right, right. Um, so any extra expansions or anything in the works that we don't know about that maybe anything?
For this game,
Yeah.
not. I mean, if it does great, I'm sure White Dog will want me to send the
Ah,
Bolters off to
right,
somewhere else.
right. Because I think there's a lot of different places you could use.
Yeah,
Different
well, yeah. I mean, if
locations.
you're fans, anybody who plays the whole Invaders series, you'll recognize some of the alien mercenaries in this game. Um, but one of the great things is that if it does well, if people like it, I mean, the Vultures can get sent to all sorts of places against all sorts of aliens. And I mean, every game will be different. We'll come up with different scenarios, different situations. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great. That's one of the
Yeah.
great things about science fiction, right? And horror and fantasy is that you can keep adding on stuff. There's no historical constraints to you just having a great time with it and add in a whole bunch of junk.
Right. Right.
And
Excellent.
to be honest with you, it's been a lot of Fred and I have worked on the Invader series for years, and just coming up with the aliens and the challenge of making them each different enough, unique enough to be
Right.
entertaining and something that people want to go from game to game because it's a different experience each time. That's
Right.
that's a great part of sci-fi or horror or fantasy.
Right. I know we did a trial last week just to make sure we can get connected and everything, and I was having a
Mhm.
great time playing it. So I thought,
Cool.
well, now it's a great time to just introduce it to everybody. So thanks everybody for joining us today.
And thank you
And
everybody who's helped with the rules and the oh my goodness, some people out there with great grammar skills. I had certain habits when I was writing that I wasn't aware of that a couple of people pointed out to me, and now I've actually gone back and changed some other rules that I've been working on, seeing those little grammatical crutches that I was using.
right.
It's interesting. So like it is fun to. I mean, I actually appreciate the feedback. Like when I did the interview on Board Game Geek, I noticed that I use the word "so" a lot. I start a lot of sentences with "so," and
Uh-huh.
after I realized I was doing it, it drove me nuts. It was like a buzzer going off every time I heard it. And in this set of rules, I was using the word "then" a lot.
Then do this, then do
Then do
that.
this, then do that, which is kind of a similar connector to "so."
Hmm.
So like I just did it, right?
Right.
It's a narrative thing, right? Where you're keeping the story going so you connect with the next thought.
Right.
So that's a habit I got to try to get out of.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring up the screen so people can see what we're actually talking about here. And I do need to share it with everybody. And let's see. There we go. It should be on the screen. If you guys in
Very
chat could just let us know if everything looks good and everything sounds good. That'd be awesome. We don't want to get too far into this and find out there was some kind of a glitch or something.
So
This is
I should click
Tabletop
on my
Simulator.
tabletop simulator tab, right? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Are we good?
I'm good. Are you good?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you're watching the actual feed or if you're watching the
No,
StreamYard.
I'm actually going through tabletop simulator, so I'm not watching the feed.
Oh, okay. All right. So if something pops up, I'll read you what the questions are. If anybody has any questions about the game, be sure to post them in the chat, and I'll ask Herman your question for you, and we'll see if there's anything. So this is the layout here. So is this it doesn't look like it's going to take up a huge table space. So those people that don't have a lot of table room, such as myself, this looks like it's going to be one map.
Yeah, I believe, if I remember correctly, the map's 22 by 17.
22 by 17, a couple charts that it looks like we're going to need. And
yeah, this is actually front and back. I just laid them both out so that they're visible.
Okay. And a bunch of counters. All right. So
yeah, the unit counters are large. I think they're an inch by an inch. So you can see that they're larger than the normal markers.
Right.
So
Volters are the good guys, I'm assuming.
I'm sorry?
Volters are the good guys.
Yes.
We'll be playing the good guys in this scenario here.
Right. So the evil guys are called the Firmicians.
Firmicians.
Yes.
The deadly, awful Firmicians. Now, what did they do that's so awful that we are going to war with them?
Yes, well, they're actually the answer to the Fermi paradox. So they've been gobbling up the entire universe, and they finally reached our neck of the woods.
I see.
So Mars is their target. This is, of course, in the future. We have a couple of settlements on Mars, and that's why they're attacking Mars.
I gotcha. All right. Todd says everything looks and sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you. Sure, I'm just looking through the chat to see if anything. Fred says that all of his aliens are completely different, so that's good to know.
Is that my buddy
Mike
Fred Manzo?
Make sure you send him this stuff. So.
Fred O'Sullivan.
Fred Manzo.
Oh, Manzo. That's Fred.
Manzo.
That's
Fred
my.
Manzo.
Oh, he's got on. Hey, Fred.
Yeah, he was actually here early. He was the first one on, so good for him.
Yeah, he asked me. I'm glad he found it.
Good. Glad to hear. Glad to be part of that, and glad he could show up in case I mess anything up. He can see what I did wrong in action. All right. So let's go right up into the setup here. The board is not set up with anything right this second. It's just kind of pulled right out of the box. And now we're going to just go through the setup. So
you want me to just explain the map real quick?
Sure, let's do that.
All right. So this is the Martian surface. Fans of Crowbar and in magnificent style will notice the basic setup here, which is you have 9 columns. You have a bunch of rows here. Areas 1 through 9. You'll notice that the number 9 comes up a lot in this, and there's a reason for that. Everything works out in 9s. Along the bottom here is where we start. So there's 3 Volter companies: Asteroid Company, Black Hole Company, and Comet Company, ABC. Each of these has a zone. These here are, if you remember from the other games, there were rally markers. These are called life support pods. They serve the same function as rally markers do in the other games. they do have an added function in here in that they actually do supply the units with oxygen, logistics, and ammo.
Uh-huh.
The Phoenicians are deployed, and the zones are green, yellow, red. So green is fairly safe, yellow is dangerous, and red is very dangerous. This is the alien. This is where we're going to be deploying the Phoenicians in this alien defense enclosure zone, the ADEZ. That's all here. And behind it is the Doomsday Device zone. This is where the Doomsday Device markers are going to go. And that's our ultimate goal, is to get in there and figure out what the timing is on this thing. We're going to try to keep this marker from clicking off 10 spaces, because if it does, the planet's destroyed and you lose.
Well, that's not going to be good.
No.
So this is solo game or designed to be played solo, correct?
Yes, primarily solo game. You can play cooperatively with each player taking their own company. And there is a way to count victory points. So if you play cooperatively, you all lose together. If you win, you can actually count up your victory points individually by company, so you can determine who's the winner amongst you.
All right.
All right. I won't bother going into all these things until we get to them. There's a lot of different units. There's quite a bit of variety here.
So our job basically is we're going to be starting down here. We're going to be moving our units across the board, trying to take over the Phoenicians here, and then stop this Doomsday Device. Is that the goal of the game?
That is the goal.
All right, let's do this.
You don't do that, you lose.
If we don't do it, we lose. So the Doomsday Device is also the game counter or the game timer, basically.
To a certain extent, yes.
Once that goes off, it's game over, whether you like it or not.
Correct.
You could be doing great against the Phoenicians, but if you don't stop the Doomsday Device, doesn't matter.
That's
Doomsday
correct.
Device goes off. Okay. All right, let's set her up.
All right.
And show us how things are done. So this is
Okay.
a like random setup every time. So your game will be different every time.
That is correct. This is going to be, so this green bag over here has 25 Phoenician units in it of various types. There are standard cluster units in here. There are elite units. There are mercenary alien units. There's all sorts of wonderful things in here. And we're going to just shuffle this bag, and then we're going to distribute one unit to each of these spaces. And whatever comes out, comes out. You're going to have to deal with it.
All right. Well, let's shuffle just to make sure you didn't set it up too easy for us here.
Yep.
All right, let's pull one out. Let's see. Oh, that doesn't look good right off the bat.
That's an elite unit. So I'll give you guys a quick briefing on how to read this. The dots on the top tell you how many steps this is. This is a one-step unit, so it only takes one hit before it dies. However, it's also one of their best units. It has a combat strength of 7. It does have a save 5+, which means every time you do hit it, it can save if you draw a 5 or higher.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on and see.
And we got your standard Phoenician cluster unit. They have 2 steps, which means if you get them on a hit, you flip it over. They got 1 left, and that's their strength point. These are all variable too. They go anywhere from 2 to 4.
Oh,
like that one.
Oh,
those are the mercenaries. All right. So the Phoenicians, as they were conquering the universe, did adapt and allow some alien races to be part of their force. These are termite mercs. And what they do is they have 2 steps as well, but they have 0 firepower. So when they issue fire, they don't issue any fire. However, they are 6 in close combat because they tunnel around and ambush guys.
Wow. Doesn't look very nice. Okay,
there's dudes.
Got one of
yeah, getting a good pull here.
Look at that. We got all the wimpy guys over here. There we go. And one more.
One big one. Okay. Oops. All right. So this tells you what you have to face initially. Now, mind you, as everybody who plays my designs knows, there are events in this game, and more aliens will show up. And we have what we call, this is the warlord. He's the leader, and he actually wanders along the front lines here, helping out his troops. So to determine where he starts, we shuffle the deck. So this is an all-inclusive deck. There's 27 cards here. It will give us what our units are doing. So as in the previous games, you would roll some dice to determine what happens, how far you can push your luck, what happens to you. We're going to flip cards here. We're also going to flip cards to get random numbers from 1 to 9. We're also going to flip cards to find out what the event is. They're all listed on the bottom. So when we deploy this warlord, we don't know where he's going to start. So we take the top card and we flip it. We look at the bottom, and it's column 6. So he starts here. And what he does is, I don't know if you can see that red arrow, but it's always pointing to the right at the start. Every turn he wanders one turn to the right, one space to the right. When he gets here, he flips around and he starts heading the other way. And what he does is he gives 2 SPs to every unit he's with. And if anybody's shocked, which is a state, a morale state in this game, he will remove the shock marker too.
Oof.
Yep. Okay,
and
so that's
he
what the
doesn't have any
Phoenicians look
steps,
like.
so you can't take him out then.
So you cannot fire at him unless he's alone.
Aha.
Right.
Okay.
Next step is we put out our doomsday devices. So I'll do that real fast if you want.
Yep.
These are various markers with numbers on the back and sometimes pictures of aliens. These are used to determine how fast the bomb's counting down. We don't know what the numbers are underneath yet. Our job is to find out what they are and then hopefully regulate this bomb and not allow it to explode before we go through 5 countdown turns.
Right. Okay.
All right. Next thing, the next thing we got to do is we're going to determine how much support do we get. We have a star cruiser floating around in the atmosphere, firing missiles to help us out. That's the Sky Breach, and the Sky Breach is going to do some preliminary bombardment, which exists in the previous games as well, and that's the fire support chits, which are in all these types of games. We're going to pull a random number and have it rounded up. So 2, you get 2 markers. So you pull out 2, 1, 2. Now these represent firepower from orbit. If you put this marker on a unit, it reduces its SP by 1. That's to represent pinning effect, hunkering down, disordering. On the back of these markers is the permanent effect, and we don't know what that is. Could be hits, could be misses, could be a shocked result. We may even find some interesting things that will give us victory points if we capture them.
So there could be like little events or something on the back that's...
Right. You might find a rebel leader who's going to help you out. You might find a plan of attack, stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
So what you do, you put these on any of these that you choose.
Oh, we get to choose. Right. Okay. Yep. So, well, let's see. I think taking this guy out would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys will move. Is that correct? The termite?
No, they won't move. The chaos move. These guys just have a super good close combat.
If we push the middle real hard, they're the only thing that's standing in our way. So we are going to try to take these guys out as well.
Okay. Finally, what we have to do is we have to deploy our actual bolters. So in this game, you can actually deploy these bolters in any way you choose. There is a limit to each type. So there's 3 types of bolters. There's the regular rangers. There are scouts who have the special scan ability, and they do actually move pretty quickly, but they have the lowest combat factor. And then there's the heavy weapons. They're the biggest, they're the slowest, they need the most support, but they can fire at anybody in your company zone, whereas the other units can only fire down their column. So the standard operating procedure, according to the Galactic Manual, is normally you put a scout on the left, a ranger in the middle, and a heavy weapon on the right of each of these companies. But you can do anything you want. You can mix it up as you choose. Obviously, you can't have 9 heavy weapons units because there are not 9 heavy weapons
Right.
units.
Right. Well, I think you know what? I like the fact that the operation manual says to go scout, ranger, heavy weapons, but I'm going to change it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the scouts against the weakest guy in each group. So, just for just for strategies,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they'll be facing a 2, they'll be facing a 2, he'll be facing a 2. And then for the heavy weapons, we're going to have them face the. Now I know they can shoot anybody, but we're going to actually, I think, bringing the heavy weapons up along the edge as opposed to more in the middle is a better strategy. And then this guy will go against these guys. And then, of course, Rangers will fill it out.
Cool. Looks
That
reasonable.
is
Actually, I did
my
forget a step, but it's
strategy.
not going to matter that much. We got to put out our little settlements.
Oh, right. That might have changed everything I did.
So the other thing about this game that'll make it different every time is the terrain actually changes every game as well. So there are little Martian colonies. That's these things. And if you look at the counter, you'll see that it says absorb 2 hits. So that's what they do. If they're sitting in a space, your unit's in that space, and you take a hit, you can actually assign it to the building.
Right. So
Problem is,
before we put these out, some people are probably wondering what this
oh yes,
gray line is. What
that
does
is a
that gray
Martian
line
canal.
represent?
That is a Martian canal.
Aha.
On the moon, we have lunar seas. These are Martian canals. If you end your turn on a canal, like if you end up there, you will have this canal is just festooned with listening devices and traps and early warning signals and all sorts of stuff like that. If you end up on here, you must immediately draw a Phoenician event, which, by
Bad
the way,
thing.
is not good.
Yeah, bad things.
Right. So what you do with the terrain here is simple and it's random. Is you're going to draw 2 cards. First one tells you what column it goes in, and the second one tells you what row. So it's 1, 4. So it's column 1, space 4. So that goes right there. If this thing lands on a Martian canal, you lose it. It doesn't show up.
Boo.
5, 2. So 5, 2 is right there. Oops. Yeah, I knew I was going to do that. 7, 3. 7, 3. 9, 8.
Ooh, way up there.
Way up there. And the artwork's all different. Tim did different artwork on each one of these, but they all have the same effect. It's just there for variety. And then finally, 7, 2. Oh dear. Let's see. 7, 2 is here.
Yep.
Wow. Well, the scouts are going to be happy, huh?
Right. And that's, interesting. So what would have happened just rule wise if, let's say, you roll the same thing as a settlement that was already there?
You lose
You
the
lose
second.
it. Okay.
You lose the new one.
So
Yeah.
you got a one-time shot at getting them out there, and you have no say in where they go. And yep.
Right. So as
All right.
Jester just implied, he might have maybe picked a different unit to go here now that he sees he's got a lot of cover.
Correct.
Whereas this one's far off. So you might want to put the scout on the right because it's got further to go. I don't know. Or not.
You know what? I think keeping the heavy weapons team alive is better. And with these things there. Plus, they don't move as fast
That might
anyway.
be better. I don't know.
I'm sorry?
For sure. I said I think that might be better. Yeah.
All right, let's try that.
All right. The last thing we do is we have, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's all these little commanders over here. So the game comes with 6 commanders. You use 3 each game. Again, another variable thing here. Each commander does things slightly differently, slightly better in certain departments. So you can either choose these guys if you have your favorites, or you can randomly select them, whatever you want.
All right.
If you look closely at them, like say we'll take Horst here. So F is how much he adds to a unit's firepower that he's attached to. C is how much he adds to their close combat. And S is a save. He can be used to actually do a save draw for the unit if it gets a hit.
Right. Okay. Let's do that. I want the best save. Who's the best? Kennedy looks like the best. No, is that Mosman?
Mossman.
Mosman. We want Mosman. Mosman is going to come over here because they have the least amount of terrain.
You might want to pick Manzo because he's watching on chat.
Manzo, sure. Let's see. Let's put Manzo in the middle.
So for you people watching, you can put the commander either in the headquarter box here, where he basically does like kind of an overview of the situation, or you can attach him to the unit, where he takes personal control of this unit and will influence it.
And
there are a list of things they do in each case over here on the player rate.
Kennedy. We'll take Kennedy. So Moserman, Manzo, and Kennedy. These will be our three.
Very good. And then finally, we decide how difficult a game do we want to play. So if you want to play the easy mode, you start the game turn marker in game turn 1. Standard mode, you start it in 2. And brutal mode, you start it in 3, which we'll do now to make the game as short as possible.
Why do you want to put me against brutal right off the bat? That's not fun.
The only difference is it's how much time do you have to play before the countdown starts. That's what that's for.
I see.
All right, then you put the cards back together, you shuffle them up, and you're ready to go. So the way you start is, if you go up on the sequence of play, I don't know if you can see it, you always start with the Doomsday phase, but you ignore the Doomsday phase on these regular game turns. You only do it during the countdown turns.
Okay.
Then the number 2 is Firmician retaliation phase. That means you're just flipping a card and you're going to apply the Firmician event. Most of the time on the first turn, it doesn't do much, but every once in a while it does do something.
Oh, geez. All right, let's just make sure it's shuffled. Here we go. So let's flip up and look at this card.
All right. So what you do is, I'll explain the activation in a second, but right now we're looking at the events section. There's a Volter event, Saturation Fire, and a Firmician event, Cloaking Device. Cloaking Device would be really bad if it was later in the game because you actually shuffle up the Doomsday markers. So on the last page of the rule book, you will see there is a list of all the events and what they do in detail. So the Cloaking Device, let's see, we actually don't even have to, let's see.
Is it under? No, it's not underneath one of these.
Nope. We don't have to worry about it. Actually, draw another event because nothing is up yet. I'll save some time and figure that out. So basically, the Cloaking Device would say, if you had some of these Doomsday Device markers identified, you would actually dump them and replace them with new ones. So whatever calculations you had going on before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we just draw a new one. I'll do it.
So we tried to find out the timing mechanism, and then the timing mechanism changes on us. That's correct. Great.
So the replacement Firmician event is Laser Volley, which we also don't have to worry about because we can't get hit while we're in our trenches over here in the deployment zone. So basically, the Firmicians shoot, things pop around here, nothing happens. All right. Finally, the Warlord moves. So he moves one space over, so he's there now. If there were any Chaots in the game, the Chaots mercenaries, they actually bop around to random spaces each turn. They just zoom around. So you would determine that now as well. Now we just go. So first thing you do is you pick which of the 3 companies do you want to activate? Obviously, it's got to be a company that you didn't activate before. And you just finish the activation for all 3 units in that company.
All right, let's do this. So that was setup. If anybody has any questions about anything we've covered so far, just let us know in the chat. Everything was pretty self-explanatory. You're basically drawing a bunch of randomness out there, putting them in different locations, and the setup will be different every time. That's awesome. I love that. So great replayability for sure. All right, we'll just move on unless somebody has any thoughts or questions. But we have the marker. Where is? Oh, here it is. Active. So we'll
Yeah.
activate Kennedy's section over here on the right.
All right. So Jester picks the Comet Company to start with. Now, in this game, as opposed to Crowbar and in Magnificent Style, he does not have to yet choose which unit he wants to activate until he sees the card flip. He can actually make the decision after he sees. So he just flips the card for this company. Of course, he's picked one of the cards that has only one direction on it. We need more ammo. So this is what I was talking about before. This is where you would take the unit and look at how far it is from its LSP. If it's too far, you will give the unit a low ammo marker, which affects its firepower. And the distance they need to be from it depends on the type. The scouts can be 3 away. The rangers can be 2 away. The heavy weapons can only be 1 away. So that also figures in your push your luck decisions, like how far ahead of the LSP do you want your units to get. So what Jester has to do now is he still has to pick which unit he's going to activate with this. We need more ammo.
We will pick the scout.
All right. So he picks the scout. Right. Now, normally you would get a card that has more information on it, like the previous one, where he would see all the entries and then he could pick which one of these he wanted to activate first. But on this card, we've got one entry and you got to go with it.
And we have no
we
choice.
Need more ammo means the scouts have to look. Do we have ammunition? Yes, we do, because we're right on top of the life support marker. So nothing happens. They're fine. They don't get penalized. So now he decides. You always have to pick at least one card for every unit, right? Nobody can get away without picking a card. Now he decides, do I want to keep going or do I want to consolidate? Obviously, he wants to keep going.
Yep. All right. So draw another card and
now he's going to look only. Now he's already committed to doing the scouts. So he has to look under the scout entry.
So we get to move 1.
Right.
So that is moving 1 space.
Yep. And now before he picks the next card, he decides, does he want to consolidate? So just for people who are not familiar with the previous games, if you decide to consolidate, you can bring your life support marker up with you, and then you are spent and done. If you decide to continue, he just keeps going.
We will continue. Let's go, baby.
Good draw.
2. Nice.
Move 2.
So we will move 1, 2.
Once again, decides, does he want to consolidate or does he want to keep going?
It is 3 away.
So for scout, he's still within some kind of issue range. Should he draw that? If he panics, that's a different story.
Yeah, I think we will go.
All right. All right. That is a dual entry. So if you see a slash, he can pick either the left entry or the right entry. So you can either move 1 safely or you can move 2 but takes a hit. So a hit would be losing a step.
Right. We do not want to take a hit. We will move 1 and we will consolidate.
Okay. So the life support marker joins him. The pod zooms up and he is done.
All right.
So now he has 2 more units to activate in this company. Now his choices are limited to the ranger or the heavy weapon. So we'll see what he pulls. So now he has either an entry here or an entry here. So both are choices. This is interesting. The ranger can either fire or move 1. Well, he can't fire from here. You can't do anything when you're in the regimental deployment zone. For the heavy weapons, he could either do a cautious advance or he's forced to halt. Now, a cautious advance is it's a move one, but only if you're not going from zone to zone. So from here, he can't do it because he's going from the regimental deployment zone to the green zone. If he was over here, he could do it because he'd be within the green zone.
Right.
So his choice is, I'm assuming, is going to be he's going to pick the Ranger and move one.
That's correct. Let's do that.
Right.
So move up one.
So now he's, by the way, for people who don't know, the reason you have this active unit marker is sometimes you get in an event which sends you off to another part of the map to resolve stuff. And you have to remember which unit you are actually activating at the time. So that's why that marker is there.
All right.
So now he's committed to the Ranger. He's got the same choice the Scouts had before. It's either move one or move two and take a hit. And by the way, before he does that, if he were in this column and did move two and take a hit, he could actually have the building take the hit.
Ah, right. I think we'll move one and not take a hit.
All right.
Might be a mistake, but we'll see. All right, we'll draw another card. Cautious advance we can do because we're not going from zone to zone.
Right. And just to clarify one thing for the people watching. So he has cautious advance or halt, which means if he could not do a cautious advance, he must halt. Why is halt bad? Halt is bad because you are stuck right where you were. You got a spent marker and you don't get to move your life support pod.
Right.
Which could be a problem in the future.
Right. So we will cautious advance.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be done with him.
Ooh, a very cautious jester. So now he's in his third unit. Now he must go with the heavy weapons. He has no choice.
Yeah. Move
okay.
with the hit or sustained fire.
So sustained fire is only available to the heavy weapons. What that means is they can fire and add 2 to their strength, but then they must halt. So it's basically them setting up some kind of weapon, firing, and then they're kind of stuck where they were because they spent so much time setting up the weapon. Or he can move one, but then he's got to take a hit.
Unfortunately, we'll move and take a hit.
Right. Too bad you didn't make it to the buildings, but
right.
I was the purpose of lining up in this column.
Right. That's why I did that. And moving a hit. Well, there we go. Same thing.
So here you go. Here's a perfect example. He can pick move and take a hit and have the building take the hit.
Yep. So we'll move up, have the building take a hit. That's why I put him there.
By the way, if the building takes another hit, it's gone. So
that's all right. We don't need it anymore. Oxygen and supplies are low.
All right. So this is interesting. So oxygen and supplies are low means you have to trace to your life support pod. And if you can't, your men take some casualties from a lack of oxygen and supplies. This is a heavy weapon. He has to be next to his life support. So this would apply. He would have to take a hit. However, because he has his leader in the headquarters, one of the things the leaders can do is they can use themselves to draw a new card.
Right. The buildings cannot take this hit because it's not actually a hit. This is
correct.
This is like an event that.
Right.
Right. Yes. Let's use up Kennedy.
All right. So what happens? Use your so now he's used. All these leaders can be used for one command ability. So that you got to be careful how you use them because if this comes up again, you can't use them again.
Right. But let's hope it doesn't come up again. Nope. Better. We got a permission event.
Right. So all that you do now is you draw the next card and you look at permission event where you would apply it. Unexpected chasm. All right. So place a chasm in the space in front of the active unit if drawn during a company activation, which it was. So there's a chasm with the settlement.
All right.
So, what does a chasm do, you might ask? Well, chasm is simply it makes you draw a move 2 or a move 1 plus hit or a move. You cannot advance in here with just a move 1.
Right. So you have to move at least 2. If I
Move 1 and
choose a
take a hit.
card that says move 1, I don't get to move, but it doesn't cost me anything bad, right?
Right. Just don't move. You just draw
Okay.
another card.
Then we will risk it and move on again. Panic. All right.
All right. So as you can see here, it says panic. So panic depends on where you are when you get it. Luckily, he's in the green zone. So the green zone, all you do is halt.
Okay.
If you were in the yellow zone, you would retreat to your LSP wherever that is. It could be 8 back, 8 spaces back. That's where you would go, and then you'd halt. If you get it in the red zone, not only do you have to do that, but you're also shocked. So this company is now done. Everybody's spent. He now picks another company.
All right, let's go with Manzo. Sorry, Manzo.
All right. Again, he doesn't have to pick anybody until he sees the card.
Wow.
Oh boy. Not a great. You don't want
Not
to
a
pick
great
panic.
card for
You don't want to pick
anybody.
cautious advance because that would be nothing.
No.
And you
Let's
can't
take this
scan
out.
move 2 and a hit.
Oh,
And
we'll
just look at that.
Yep. Wow, I'm a genius.
How lucky is that?
I am a genius. I am a genius. We're going again.
Fire or
Move
move
or
1. So
fire?
firing, the way firing works.
Yeah.
Good that came up. So he's got a strength of 4. Firing from the green zone is -2. Firing from the yellow zone is -1. And firing from the red zone is whatever it says. So he could fire, which in this case would be 4 -2. So he would score a hit with a 1 or a 2. You just draw a random number. If it's a 1 or a 2 out of 9, this guy gets flipped over and gets a hit. Or you can move 1.
Well, here's the thing. We got our little canal, or I'm sorry, the
Martian Canal.
The Martian Canal. So if we move 1, then we're gonna all right, we're gonna move 1.
All right. Good luck
I
to
love
you.
how you say that. All right, whatever.
So the last card?
Nope, sorry. Grab
Yep.
those. Volters.
You draw a Volters event.
See,
now.
I told you things are turning around here.
Volters
Volters headquarters.
That's Volters Ho.
Oh, Volters Ho. Oh, sorry. I thought it said HQ.
Which,
sorry.
if you would have read your Encyclopedia Galactica, you would have realized that that's what the Volters always yell.
Volters Ho.
All right, so this is kind of a catch-all good thing. All right. So if you flip on the back here, you'll see you can use it for an autosave. You can use it to redraw a card. You can cancel a shock. You can add 2 SPs, and you can ignore the Mind Terror Promethean event, which is bad. So what you do is you just very simply take this marker and put it on any unit you want, any Volters unit you want. I don't have
a Manzo.
No.
Oh, it's got to be a unit?
Yeah, actually unit, okay. Yes.
Let's give it to the heavy weapons team.
All right, good. So nothing happened with the scouts. They're still active.
Going again. Move 2 and a hit.
Right. So this would, since it's 1 entry, it would apply to all types of units. There are no choices here. It's move 2 and take a hit.
All right, that's all right.
Which is good because it gets them past the
that's anyway. What we needed. That's exactly what we needed. All right, we will stop right there.
All right.
And we'll move on to next card here. Rangers can move 2.
Yes, Rangers can move 2.
Let's do that. Rangers are on the move.
Sounds like he's going to get Manzo on the radio.
Manzo, help me. Yeah, we'll use Manzo to redraw. Always wants to grab the whole stack. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
What are we moving? Rangers. No, he panicked.
Oh no, he
Back-to-back
panicked anyway.
panic. Are you kidding
Here's
me?
the turn
Really?
to panic. All right, once
Wow.
again, you're in the green zone, so you're good.
Yeah, we just
You
don't get to
you
move up.
stop.
Yep.
So Manzo
All
did you no good. Fred, what's the matter with you? They're looking for your
Wow,
help.
that leader's terrible. Jeez. All right, what are we moving? Heavy weapons, move 1.
Yep. Dun, 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 dun. And they got a Volter code, so they got high
And
morale.
fire or move 1.
Ah, wow.
We're
So
gonna
firing
fire.
from here, you'd fire as a 6.
We're firing.
And against these dreaded termite mercs.
We're firing.
All right.
Against
So
the
draw a
mercs.
number. Just
Draw
draw
a
a number,
card?
and you're looking for a 1 through 6.
All right.
Ah!
No.
Oh well. Hey, it's early. They got to get their bearings.
Oh, is that? I think that is the last card, though.
That's the light card. Yep.
All right. Moving
Move 1
ahead.
and take a hit.
All right.
All right, I'll flip this in the meantime.
Well, you put it on brutal difficulty, so I hope you're happy. All right. We're going again. Halt or move 1 and a hit.
You can redraw if you use up your Volters. The Volters let you draw another card if you want. Or you don't. You might want to save it. I'm not sure.
Nope, we'll halt. That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, so this company's done.
All right.
They got the most advanced unit so far, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
Now we move to Asteroid Company and Mossman.
All right. Well,
so
we don't want to panic, so that's bad.
Yeah, you don't have great choices there.
Let's move the heavy weapons team up 1.
Why not?
Move him up another 1. Look at him go.
He's heading for the village. Can he make it?
Can't even make it. We need a 2, don't we?
Well, if as long as you don't end your move on the Martian Canal, you can temporarily be there. You just got to make sure you don't hold there.
All right. Yeah. All right. We'll go again.
Cautious advance will work because you're still in the green zone.
Yep. Good for us.
All right. You don't want to stop here, though.
Nope. We're going again. Move 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, can I give you a hint? Well, it doesn't really matter. Never mind. I was going to say you could pick move. You could do move 1. Well, in other circumstances, you might in the move 2 plus hit. You could do move 1 plus hit and have the unit have this thing absorb it. But move 1 will do just the same thing.
Correct. And we will stop right there and be done.
All right. Good place to park.
He's in the yellow zone, though. So if he gets a fire, somebody's going to die.
That's right. So either scout.
Volter's event.
You still have to pick. You still have to choose somebody before you do that.
Let's go with the scouts.
All right. Let's see what the Volter's event is. LSP Emergency Protocol. What that means is you can either fix a disabled. These things can go disabled, by the way, during the game, as you can see if you flip them over. So you can fix a disabled one, or you can just take any LSP marker, any one, and move it up to its unit. So you got Rangers here, you got the heavy weapons there, and you got heavy weapons there.
Let's do this life support right here, I think.
Okay.
Bring it up to, that was a good event. Okay.
Yep. And like I said, that's why I use the active unit marker, so you remember you are on the scouts when you left.
I would have forgotten. You're right. You're right there. All right, what are we doing? Scout, fire or move 1. Let's move. Let's move. And scan or move. Let's move.
Yep. You can't scan from the green zone. You got to be at least in the yellow zone.
Move 2. That's
Woo,
just
that's
the
a good
doctor
one.
order right there. And we will call it a day for the Scouts.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's see.
baby. We
Chester
are
is the
rocking
let's
and
get into the
rolling.
yellow zone and stop guy.
Hey, my strategies work so far. Nobody's dead.
So
right?
it's just so people are watching. It's Jester's. It behooves him not to use Mossman during the turn if possible, because at the end of the turn, when everybody's used, if you have any of these guys who are not used, you can use them at the end of the turn to flip a Volter's event. So if he can save that guy, he can use it to his advantage later.
All right. Rangers. Oh. Come here, stupid. There we go. All right. We need more ammo.
Oh, we need more ammo. We got plenty of ammo, sir. No problem.
Ammo. No worries.
Oxygen. We need some oxygen supplies. No worries, sir. We got them. Wait a minute. Is this McClellan?
Right. Let's move 1. Let's cautious advance.
Oh, you got it in good sequence. It wouldn't have worked the other way.
Right. Come here, card. Let's move 1.
Uh-oh. That was a tough decision. He doesn't want to get stuck in the Martian Canal, so he's got to get enough to get past it.
Which means that would push my luck a little.
Especially if you want to try to save Mossman, but.
Yeah. I think we will call it a day with the Rangers. They're going to move up and stop right there.
All right. Okay. So everybody's spent. What you do now is, let me just double check the sequence of play here. You would use unused company commanders can draw a Volter event. So you can use Mossman. He flips Mossman and he pulls a card and he just applies the Volter's event, which is, another Volter's Hoe. Wow, there's not that many. You got 2 of them.
This game is easy.
So who do you want to give that to?
Let's give it to our most front guy, way up there in the front.
That's usually a good policy.
See, I'm already thinking ahead. Wow, that's
so what brilliant. We do now is we put all the spent markers back. There are a couple of alien units that would attack during this phase. There's special units that pop out. They would attack now. If they're not around, you simply move the game turn marker up 1. This is still a normal game turn. You move, you flip these guys back over. All right, how are we doing with time? Do you have time for one more turn, or is that too long?
Yeah, I think let's just ask the chat. All right, so you basically chat. We went through the setup. We went through a game turn. How you guys doing? Is there any questions? If anybody has anything, we'll give you a few seconds here to bring up any thoughts or questions you might have, and then we're going to fly through one more turn to show you how quick it really goes when you're not just talking and gabbing like us old men. How you doing, Matt? From Sweden, we got someone from Sweden there.
Oh, cool. Wait, what time is it in Sweden?
Stephen Roberts says that everything looks great. Mike's been helping me with my shortcut keys that I don't know. So thanks, Mike, for that. Appreciate it. So, yep. I think we are good to go for another turn. If you want to go ahead and do another turn real quick.
Yep. Let's do it. All right.
Let's do it.
So we go through another turn. We start up with the Doomsday phase. However, we're still in a regular turn, so no Doomsday turn. Okay. And we do a Firmician Retaliation. So we just draw the top card and do the event, the Firmician event. Short fuse. Short fuse just means you take the Doomsday device track and you move it up 1.
Well, that's bad.
So that's bad. So that's automatically cuts down your choices. Now you only have 9 turns. I'm sorry, 9 countdowns instead of 10.
Oh, that's not
fair. So that event, I've lost, just so people know, I've lost the game on the short fuse event when I was sitting at 9 and I had it all figured out nice that I was going to win the game, and I drew that event and lost.
So Todd has got a question for us there. He says, how do you solve the Doomsday clock? So I think what he's asking about is
Yeah.
how we obviously are going from 0 to 10.
Right.
When it hits 10,
So,
boom, the world's over. So how do we
right.
stop that?
Okay. So what you want to do is, well, let's assume that Jester gets totally annihilated in the middle of the board here. He doesn't get anywhere. As soon as we hit a doomsday phase in a countdown turn, which is going to come up in 2 turns, you have to flip one of these over. Now, if Jester doesn't know what any of these numbers are, it's a total crapshoot in what he's going to pull. So he would flip one of these, and this would go up that number. However, if you can get a unit into these spaces, you will flip it ahead of time, so you will know what the number is. So if you can find the really low numbers, you can pick those to assign to the countdown clock, right? Buying yourself some time. If you reveal a really high number, you would take your chances and say, well, I'm not picking that because I know it's going to go up by 4. I'm going to pick one of the ones I don't see.
Right.
Obviously, the more that you have revealed, the more information you have to make that choice.
Okay.
It is possible, I will admit, because these numbers, there's how many markers? There's 6 doomsday markers we haven't picked that are not in the game. And these numbers go from 0 to 4. There are a couple of zeros in here. There's also a couple of 4s. So it is possible you get a bad draw here, and you might just be screwed. That's just the way it rolls. That's the way my games roll.
Right.
Sometimes that happens. But
Okay.
the idea is you want to get units into these spaces so you identify these device markers, and then you pick which ones you want to count down. So you want to pick the ones that are low, the 0, 1s, and 2s, and you want to avoid 3s and 4s.
Right. So you're trying to get the lowest numbers, so it moves the.
Or, I mean, getting a high number is just as valuable, because if you know where the 4 is, you know
Right.
not to pick that.
know not
You
to
know to
pick
pick
that.
one of
Right.
the other ones.
Can't you also scan as well? Or is that
So
something?
scanning, well, in the original version of the game, I had it so that you could scan these things and look at them, but actually that was too much of an advantage, because I found myself taking the scouts, and if I could get here, I would just sit here and scan these all, and it would make the game too easy. Scanning does other things. Scanning reveals these.
Oh, reveals those things. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew
Or
it.
actually puts new ones in there by hacking. Or scanning also lets you mark a spot. So you can put a mark spot that's like a laser tag, so that if you shoot at it, you're going to get +2 on your shot.
Gotcha.
So it does other things.
All right.
All right.
Hopefully that answers your question, Todd. If not, let us know if you have any.
By the way,
questions.
under the dooms, just so you know, Todd, under the doomsday markers, some of these have a number with an alien face. That means they have a garrison. So when you run into it and reveal it, you actually have to fight the garrison to earn that chit. If you don't beat the garrison, the chit goes out and a new blind one takes its place. Just so you know. So you might see the one that you really want, like the 0 or something, but it might have a garrison. And if you don't beat that garrison, you don't get the 0. Game's not easy.
All right. The commander warlord, did you move him?
Yeah, I didn't move him yet, but he does move. Yes,
he moves. Okay. So let's just run over the sequence really quickly for
so the
those.
doomsday phase first,
Right.
but that's ignored on the regular game turns. The Formician retaliation we just did was a short fuse, so now we're only got 9 to play with instead of 10. Then it's the Warlord and the Chaos patrol phase, which the Warlord and the Chaos, if there were any in the game, would move. Then it's the commander assignment phase. So now you look at your commanders and you go, all right, what are they going to do? Are they going to sit back in headquarters, or are they going to be attached? One of the other things they can do in headquarters, by the way, is they can call for support of the starship, and they can blast some spots or
Right.
things like that. But then you use the commander, so that's the tough call.
Right.
You probably want to keep them there so you get the redraw option, but at a certain point, you want them to start getting a little more active.
Okay. So that was that phase.
After that, we just pick a company and go.
Yep. All right. So Let's do the same thing. We're going to go with Comet.
All right, Comet Company.
Let's
Pick a
we'll
card first, and
spell
then
it
we're going to
for it.
assign it to somebody. So on the scout, he scans or fires. He can actually do both those things if he wants, or you can move one with the ranger. You can move the heavy weapons into here because it's a move 1 plus hit, which is allowed, and that guy could take the hit for you. So
Let's do it. We're
all
doing
right.
heavy weapons.
All right, so the heavy weapons goes forward, which is move 1 and take a hit, which allows you to enter a chasm, and the hit can be taken by the building. Not bad. That's what you get for building a settlement in a chasm.
We have a
So,
question here from IGYCRCTL. Is this an unpublished design? I can't find it on Board Game Geek.
right, it's going to be up there as soon as White Dog says it's good to go, which should be shortly.
This is a prototype
Yep.
game on Tabletop Simulator. We're just
right. It is a prototype. This is all final art, though.
Final art, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the game has not yet been published, and it's in the works. How much longer?
I don't
do you
know.
think?
I don't know how efficient White Dog is at putting the games up on Board Game Geek. If they don't do it, I'll do it. I know how to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be up
Getting
there.
Getting close, obviously, because it's ready. Oh no!
Oh no! The Universal Panic card. So luckily, Kennedy is available.
What does Panic give him?
So Panic in the green zone just halts him.
Yeah, let's flip Kennedy because I want to move him up and try to shoot. Halt or move 1 and a hit.
Yeah. So in case anybody's asking or wondering, if he does take a hit, there are replacement markers like this.
We will take the hit, move 1, and can we take the hit first?
No.
Okay, so the building wouldn't be able to take the hit.
Yeah, it's the way it's written.
We not move and take the hit and just stay there.
Correct.
No, what I'm saying is, could we stay here?
Yes, that's what I was hinting at before. Yeah. There are certain times with the buildings that you could actually pick a lesser move and have the building take the hit.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So the building's destroyed. No longer there to help.
Or settlement. Move 1.
There we go.
Like that. We're going again. Move 1 and a hit or sustain fire.
So sustained fire is you'd stop, but you'd get a +2 shot. So from here, that would be 6 + 2 is 8. You're in the yellow zone, -1, so 7. So 1 through 7 would knock this guy down. But then you'd have to halt for the better shot.
Yeah, but halting is not that bad.
Halting's not awful.
And we get the shot.
Yep.
Let's take a shot.
Okay. So 1 through 7.
Come on, baby. 1. Yes. That's a critical. It's a critical.
Well, if we had a leader attached, they'd be toast. So that flips that Formation over to a 1. So now he's weakened.
All right.
All right. So you got Rangers and Scouts left.
Oh. Mission
first you got to pick a guy.
Right. Let's go Scouts.
All right. Let's see what the Formation event is. Oh no, the Mushroom Dome. All right. If it's drawn during a company activation, place a Mushroom Dome in the active company's zone. It's placed in the ADZ opposite the most advanced Volter unit in that company. So the Mushroom Dome, so you have 2 choices here because you have 2 advanced guys. So it can either go here or here. So just for anybody who wants to know, the Mushroom Dome is an alien dome. It basically covers the spot it's in and the 2 adjacent ones, and it takes all the hits. So if you fight anybody in those spots, you're actually fighting the dome first. And the annoying thing about the dome is it gets a 6+ save on the front side and it gets an 8+ save on the backside.
How about we have our commander re-roll that? Oh, he's used. Forget it.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah. Makes sense to
Yep.
put it there.
Yep. It only covers 2 spots instead of 3. Yep.
Boo.
Oh well.
All right, so the scouts are
We're still doing
active.
the scouts. Yep.
Move on.
one.
Darn it! Is this the last card already?
That's the last card. Yeah.
Oh, move.
Move 1 and a hit.
All right. All right. We're gonna keep them
Make it to the
rolling.
next set of buildings.
We're gonna go again. Volter.
Well, that's right. This is good.
Could have we used this Volter's Hoe to cancel that other one?
No, only that's attached to that unit.
Oh, okay. So we get a for Volter's event. Volter's.
Oh, you got the same one again.
emergency.
Emergency protocol.
Yep. Move this up to our. Yep.
Yep.
This guy right there. See, it's so much better when you have two hands moving things. All right.
Oh no!
Formation events. Oh my gosh.
Laser volley.
Laser volley.
All right. So the Phoenicians offer you a laser volley. So every Phoenician unit in the active company zone fires down. So here's what happens. You go across. They fires a 1 if they're shooting at so they fire down the columns. If they're shooting somebody in the red zone, it's +2, yellow zone +1, green zone even. So this Phoenician's shooting at 2, right? 1 + 1 is 2. So we just draw 1 or 2. He hits you. 9, he misses by a mile. This guy, unfortunately for you, has the warlord there. So he's a 5. +2 +1 even. So it's an even 5 at this guy.
Yep.
He missed.
Nice.
And this guy's a 4 +1 because you're in the yellow zone. So he shoots at you as a 5. And he got you.
God.
So the scouts are down to a 2.
Got him. Boo.
Oh, and that's your active unit too.
Right.
I don't know. This is tough now.
We're going.
Panic! All right. Panic in the yellow zone. Boy, those guys got slaughtered. Means you have to retreat back to your life support pod and you halt.
That's all right.
Wow, they ran into some heavy duty. That much of them got deployed and everybody shot at them.
Right.
All right, so the Ranger.
Yep. No choice. It has to be the Ranger. Move him 1.
Move 1.
Oops. Halt or move 1 and take a hit. Let's move 1 and take a hit.
All right. We're up against the Martian Canal, getting some resistance from this group.
Move 1 or move 2 and a hit? Move 1.
All right. Oh, we haven't had this card yet. All right.
Yeah,
this is a choice that you have to make. You either halt, which you really don't want to do, or you do a reckless charge. A reckless charge just means your men are hunkering down and rolling forward and hoping for the best. So what you do at a reckless charge, you can just draw the next random number if you choose that option, and whatever it does, it does. Low is good.
That's what we're doing. Low.
9. 9 is the worst. You don't move at all, and you take another hit.
Oh, that's terrible. So he takes a hit.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this group's getting slaughtered.
Man. Well.
And you don't want to stop there either.
Ranger, move 1.
Move 1. All right. I'm assuming
we're gonna call it. Yeah, right there. Yeah, we're gonna call it. I was hoping to get a shot, but
Comet Company is getting slaughtered.
Yeah, that's all right. Kennedy's not a very good leader. What can we say? All right, let's go to Black Company there.
Black Hole Company with all the Volter's Hoe. All right, you got a choice of scan and fire with this guy, which you can do. You don't want to panic with the Rangers, or you can move 1 or move 2 and a hit with the heavy weapons. If you fire from here, you're firing as a 2. If you scan from here, you can take a peek at this one, or you can try to hack one of these guys, which means putting a fire support marker out, but then you'd have to draw a number that is equal to or higher than their column number. Or you can mark one of the hexes, which means when you shoot at it, you get a +2 against it.
All right, let's mark this spot.
All right. You don't like those guys at all, do you?
I do not. I do not. I have a feeling they are going to be a pain. We can cost. No, scout. Sorry, I was looking at a ranger.
Oh, he's got another leg.
Oh my gosh! Here we go again. Now we're gonna flip.
By the way, their reckless charge is a lot less deadly than the reckless charge for the Rangers. So a 4 is move 2 and take a hit.
That's all right. Yeah, we could 4 and take a hit. Or move 2 and take a hit. All right, but we are in the red zone now, baby.
You are. And you got a Volter's Hoe, which is good.
Right. Come on, baby. Move 2 on another hit. Woo! All right.
You can redraw and use the Volter's thing if you want.
No. Go.
You're going?
Going.
All right. Here's Jester with his 1 step of scouts right at the doorstep.
I'm determined to get up there. Move 2
again. So good. This is good because you can see what happens with close combat.
That's why I wanted to do it. So
okay, so there he's in. So close combat is very simple. You take the alien unit, which is 2, and you're going to add a random number. You're going to take the Volter's unit and add a random number. Fortunately for Jester, he does have the Volter's Hoe, which adds 2. So it's basically a 2 against a 3, assuming you want to use it.
Yep. Probably.
Right?
Well, do we have to choose before we draw?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's use it.
Okay. That'll last for the entire combat. So the aliens get a 2 plus 2 is 4.
Nice.
You're already starting as a 3.
Right.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you draw yours. 4, and you draw a 4.
Yes. Right. We've done it.
So I was a 4. The aliens were a 4. You are a 7. You did not double them, so they only get 1 hit. If you double them, they get 2 hits.
Oh.
All right, now we go to round 2. So just so people know, if you decide that you don't like what's going on in a melee, you can withdraw, stop, but then if you do, you're automatically shocked. But you do have the option to retreat. The aliens will never retreat. So now the aliens are 1 plus 9, 10. Oh no!
Oh my gosh!
You are a 3 plus.
Come on! Oh, jeez.
10 to 4 is the scouts are dead.
Boo.
All right. Just so people know, one of the things you can do when you have your commander in the headquarters is they can call up to the Star Cruiser and ask for a replacement unit. So later on, Jester could actually replace this unit. You could replace it with any unit, by the way. It would go into the beginning box, but it would automatically start with 1 hit because they're replacements. They're not that good, right?
Right.
And then you could start up again. But in the meantime, this comes back. The Volter's Hoe, they got a little too excited, those scouts.
Oh, they were so close too.
Yes. All right, so it's either Rangers or heavy weapons. Obviously heavy weapons since the other one's a panic.
Yeah, let's move the heavy weapons.
You gonna go 1 or you're gonna go 1?
Yeah, let's just go 1. Yep.
All right. Oh boy, it's either halt or move 1 and take a hit, or you could redraw by using your Volters. Your Volter Hoe.
Yeah.
Or you can use Manzo.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep Manzo. Let's use the Volter Hoe and redraw.
All right, uses the Volter
Probably gonna be the same thing, but let's hope not.
Oh no!
Let's use Manzo.
All right.
Oh, geez, Louise. I knew it was
Believe,
too good to be
oh my
true.
God. Yes.
Yeah, I knew it
So
was too good to be
just so
true.
people know, because I know you asked me this before, there are 3 panics per type. Okay. So there's an 11, there's a 11% chance of a panic, but that gets mitigated by redraws and things like that. You just drew this, you just drew a heavy weapons panic in 2 in a row.
Yeah.
So
So
in the green zone, that's only a spent. It's not
yeah,
horrible.
it's not the worst. Yeah.
So now we're up to the Rangers. So we've got to flip those. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hang on. Grab the whole stack here. All right. All right, Rangers, come on.
All right.
Volters event. Company
Company surge.
surge.
Okay. Company surge means you can pick any company on the board, and every unit in that company can move 1 space forward. Doesn't have to be the company you're actually doing. So, for example, he could go back to Comet Company and move everybody up 1 space.
Let's use Able Company.
Asteroid?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Asteroid. Yeah.
All right. There you go. The
Is it
life
just?
support
Are you
pod
just?
stays
Yeah,
behind. Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's move 2 and a hit.
Still going?
Yep. Move 1.
1. Chat telling you to go?
We will stop there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Greg Amos is here.
Hey, Greg.
Greg is going to be working, hopefully, with creating a vassal module for this game. So that'd be
Yeah, I
awesome.
just haven't sent him everything yet until everything is absolutely nailed down, because I don't want him to have to do the work twice.
Right, exactly. All right, so we're on to
Asteroid Company, which has had already a company surge.
Need more ammo.
Space. Oh, you're good with everybody, so it doesn't matter who you pick.
Let's choose the heavy weapons.
Fire or
Fire?
move 1?
Oh, we're
Fire
firing.
here.
No, it's fire time.
All right, firing for the
Payback.
yellow zone is -1, so you'd be firing as a 7, and you definitely want to take this guy out if possible. So
Yeah.
So 1 through 7, you hit him.
That's what we had last time and missed. No, we hit him.
You got him. However, the Pulsar Berserkers are elite units. They save on a 5+. Find out if they save.
No.
They do not. Oh, dead.
Dead. That's how you do it, boys. Just
so people see what the back of these things would look like. So basically, what you do is, if the fire support marker is not revealed, you just throw it back in the pool. If it is, but just for fun, I'll show you. That was a miss anyway.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Excellent.
So now the strategy that Just is looking for. Unfortunately, the heavy weapons units don't move that great. If he could get enough movement to get all the way in there, that would be good. Not going to happen, but
move and hit or sustain fire and a hold.
Now, the advantage of heavy weapons is they can shoot at anybody in the company.
Right.
So he could actually use the sustained fire and shoot at this guy or this guy if he wanted to.
Right. Let's do it. The number 4 guy. Let's take him out.
All right. So sustained fire automatically gets you a +2. So you're 10, but you're -1 because you're in the yellow zone. So you're firing as a 9, which is the highest number you can. I'm sorry. The highest number you can do is an 8, because a 9's always a miss.
Oh, that's probably what I'll hit, but no.
Nice.
To hit.
All right.
No
very good.
Nice. All right. That was good.
That was very good. All right. Scouts and Rangers. Scanner move 1 or move 1.
Let's move the Rangers up in case something happens. We don't want them on that canal there. Move 1.
Nice. Universal move 1.
Come on. Move 2.
Oh no, look at this. You know what's going to
Going
happen
again.
now, don't
We're
you?
going again. No, are we going again? Are we?
Yeah, go. What the heck?
No, all right.
Halt or
Move.
move one and take
Yeah,
a hit.
moving ahead. Moving ahead. Do it.
By the way, don't forget Mossman's still available.
That's all right. Keep going.
Move one. You're
Move.
in. You're
Move. Yes. Do
in.
it.
All right. By the way, before I forget, if by chance you have somebody, let's assume Jester got this guy into here. All right. Let's say here. If you're fighting here, if you have somebody in the DDZ next to you, they contribute half their SPs to help out. So it's like a
Oh,
flanking
nice.
bonus.
Nice.
So there is a reason to push your guys forward, next to your other dudes and hope for the best, because then they can actually support them. So you're in 2. The aliens get 2 plus 4 is 6. You
Ugh.
get 4 plus 6 is
6.
10. And that's enough to kill them.
Yes.
Now. You want to get one more. Now, this is a tough choice. If you keep going and you fail, you're going to go all the way back to here. Or you can just push it and see if you can get in there. Once you're in here, nothing can happen to you anymore.
You know what's coming. Do
it. So his men are running low on oxygen and food. So they take a hit, but they're still active.
Wait. We still have a commander. We still have a commander.
Can I just make a suggestion? It doesn't really matter what strength. Well, it does for victory points, but it doesn't matter what strength you get in there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're 4 or 3 or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's all right. We're going again. Come on.
Come on, you can do it.
These are Rangers. Yes. You won.
All right, he's in there. So here's what happens. This is good because I can show people what happens. So you're in here. You're going to reveal this chit. It's a 2. So here's what happens. He sits there. You're done. This guy never activates again. He can support left and right, and you have this 2 here. So what happens is when we get to the countdown phases and we start doing the doomsday phase, the countdown turns and we start doing the doomsday phase, you're going to have to reveal one of these. You might very likely say, all right, I'm going to do the 2 because I know the track will only go from 1 to 3 and not take a chance of flipping these other ones.
Right.
So that was good, man. I can't believe these guys made it. Good for them. All right, you just got the scouts left, and then we can finish the turn.
Let's do it.
Move
one hit or scan. Let's
if you want to have some fun, if you want to try to hack this guy, which gives him a support marker.
Let's hack him.
He's in column 2. You just need anything but a 1.
I can do that. There you go.
So what we do is that.
All right. And he's going on.
Move 1.
Going on.
Move 1. Or fire.
Wait a minute. He could fire, couldn't he?
Yes, he'd fire as a 3.
Yeah, because they're -1.
Or -1, yeah.
Now move him up. Let's move him up and get in that next area.
Going for it. Oh!
Jesus.
Mossman, you going to use Mossman?
Yeah, let's use Mossman.
Redraw.
Come on.
Reckless charge. If you pull low, it'll be okay.
Well, all right. Let's pull low.
4 is move 2, but take a hit.
That's all right. We'll take
move 2 and a hit's not bad for you at all.
Right. He's got enough steps, I think. Well, we'll see.
All right. You got no support left anymore, though. So you're on your own here.
Oh, is that the last one?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
You're killing me.
All right. Let's see. Venom drone strike. Okay. So the aliens have these drones they call Venom drones that float around. You're going to draw a random number, and it's going to attack that area 4, which is here. So your heavy weapons unit gets hit with a Venom drone. And the Venom drone attacks with a 6 SP, and he hits you with a 5. So he. Oh wait!
Somebody was.
Look at that! You're in the building.
Well, actually, I was just going to say somebody in chat says Josh says the heavy weapons was up 1 on the board.
Oh,
So I
did I
think
put it wrong?
it was I think it was up here.
Oh, okay.
Spot.
Oh, that's right, because the company surged. That's right. That was my mistake. Yep. So it actually takes the hit.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. Sorry about that.
He's got to take a hit.
People in chat are actually paying attention. All right.
Yeah, Josh, she's on the ball. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. All right. So the Venom the Venom drones go after the scouts, but they miss terribly and hit the heavy weapons. All right, so let's see if you can get in there.
Go, right? Let's keep going. Oh, there's the van. There we go. Sustained fire. Or
saturation fire.
Saturated fire. Sorry.
All right. That means choose any company. Every Volter unit in that company can fire. So basically, what you do is you would pick, let's say if you picked Comet Company, every one of these guys gets a free shot.
Yep. Let's go. Let's do
it. All right. So that's 6 minus 1. That's 1 through 5. He'll knock that guy out.
What? He's heavy weapons. We can choose.
It's everybody in the company.
But I mean, he can choose to shoot at anybody.
Oh, yes.
Now the question is, do we want to try to take out the drone? The mushroom drone?
Yeah.
I think we'll try to take out the mushroom drone.
All right. 1 through 5. Oh, he hits him. The mushroom dome saves on a 6+. He does save. Boing. Now this guy shoots. He shoots as a 3 because he's in the red zone.
Got it.
Ooh, hit. Nice. And this guy shoots as a 1.
Oh, boy. We can do it. No, we can't.
Yeah. All right.
We got a hit out of it. Yeah.
Yep.
We're still moving them. Come on. Move one more space. Yay.
1 and a hit. So they move in there. They take their hit. So let me fetch a 2 scout. All right. First thing you do when you go in there is you're going to reveal what the support fire marker is. And in this case, it is a hit. Look at that. They start off with a hit.
Nice.
So they weren't as strong as you thought.
Right.
Oh, this is a good example. So alien's a 1, you're a 2, and half of this guy rounded up. So another 2, rounded down and another 1. So you actually start as a 3.
All right. He's a 1.
The alien gets a 1+. Oh, 9. You get a 3+. 2, 5. It's a hit on the scouts. You going again?
Going again. He's not going to get that one.
Aliens get 1+. 1 is only a 2. You start as a 2 and destroy him. Woo!
Killed him.
Limp in.
We got to get one more move, though.
Come on, do one more
move. We need a move.
They need more ammo. Well, you're way past so you get a low ammo marker, which doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I was going to say that shouldn't matter, though. Move and a hit. No. That's fine.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, no? It's a move and a hit.
It is a move and a hit, which means...
Oh, because he's only got 1 step left.
Yeah.
No, we'll scan. All
right.
Right? Can we do that?
You can scan, but there's nothing to scan.
Well, here's my question. Do you move in and then take the hit so we don't get to reveal that? Or what's the timing on that?
Well, you move in first and you take the hit. And, well, that's a good question. I don't think I've thought of that. Yeah, you don't get to reveal this until you're dead.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to
man.
No, we'll scan.
Okay. So you pick scan, you do nothing, and then you redraw.
So we get to basically another card. Come on.
Oh, no. See the halt, which is not a bad option, by the way.
Right.
Or do a reckless charge.
We can't roll 4 or higher because they'll take a hit and die. So we will hold. Yeah. We're going to have to hold.
Oh,
but
right
so close. So close.
I know. So
but I think that's
first thing you do is you look at your commanders. everybody's used, so you can't pick a Volter event. You pull a little Spence away, and you continue on. But anyway, so that's a good link for the video.
Yeah, sure. Let's call it there.
Right. So, for example, let's pretend it was a countdown turn. So Jester might say, "All right, well, we're going to pick the 2 and let that go up 2." And then you play some more. Let's say he didn't get any more reveals. Or let's say you revealed this one, right? Let's say you got in there. So that was a 3. So let's assume that your scout got in there, right? So now what do? Do you take it and go to 6,
No,
or do you
I would
take a risk
randomly
and try to?
draw. Yeah, I would try to
What do you,
draw somebody else.
So the strategy then would be you want to flip the one that you don't think you can get a unit into, right?
Right.
So let's say here, for example, the scouts are not going to be able to get through the mushroom dome and the 4. So you just say, hell with it. I'm going to try. So you take this guy and you flip him. It's a 0.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So the thing doesn't move at all. That's the best
Nice.
you could have asked for.
Right.
And just to give you an idea, so that's the bug I was telling you about. So if you ran into this thing, you'd have to fight that thing first as a 1, which is a good one. There's a 3. There's a 4 you'd have to fight. 2, 2, 2, and 2.
Okay.
And the idea is to get through the 5 countdown turns before this thing hits 10. If your planet's not destroyed, you win. And then you
So
count victory
you
points.
can let the countdown go all the way out and still win. You just have to make sure the doomsday.
Make sure it doesn't hit right.
Yeah.
And then what you do is there's a chart in the rules for victory points. So the more guys you have forward, the better. If you kill the warlord, you get points. If you find some of the secret stuff like the Firmician attack plan, that'll pop up once in a while. And then you get victory points, and you measure how well you do each time you play. And you didn't even run into like the Condor, which randomly bops around and attacks your units. You didn't run into the Groundhog, which hits what goes into a random column and then it just attacks down the column.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then I see we have a couple other units there, Terran Guards.
So the Terran Guards are the best Volter units. These guys, however, will not be deployed to Mars. They only show up in the Moon one because the regiment will not risk these guys for anything other than the ultimate sacrifice, and that's of course the Earth's moon. These guys are only 2 steps as opposed to 4 for most of the. However, they can take any type on the card at any turn. So when you activate these guys, you flip a card. You can pick any of the entries, and you can change it from card to card. And they also adapt all the abilities of the so the heavy weapons, they could do a sustained fire. For the scout, they could do a scan. The problem is they only take 2 hits before they die.
Right.
So you got to be very careful
are
with them.
these cards that like this
Like
one,
that.
where you don't get a choice. Yeah.
Right.
Those are bad cards for them.
So that's the Terran Guards. There's other units that are in here that mercs that you haven't seen. But that's basically it. I don't think I forgot anything. I mean, maybe, but.
All right, we're going to wind things up here. I know we didn't want to keep everybody too late today. We just wanted to kind of go over things. I'm going to go ahead and bring us back on the screen here so we can
let me get over there.
Just talk. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Great time. I had a lot of fun doing this. So thanks for joining me and showing it off to everybody. So
thank you for letting me do it. And I appreciate everybody's help. As I said before, it's made a world of difference, everybody's input, as far as the rules and the clarities. Some guys brought up great, fringical points, that you might miss when you're doing it solitaire playtesting. So it's great. So thank you, everybody, for helping out. And by the way, I got other designs. If you guys want to get in on the Civil War game, I'll post about that, or about the Dunkirk game. If you guys want to help play test it and edit it and all that, I'm all for it. I'd love to help.
All right. Well, I'm glad our guys are able to help you out. And
oh yeah, they're good.
We're trying to make sure that everything is up to snuff. So and make sure there's no errors and great release without any errata and everything if we can help. So we're trying to do our best. So
I appreciate it.
anyways, thanks everybody for showing up. If you have any questions, be sure to come over to our Facebook group and our ComSim World group, or just type a question down below, and I will get with Herman and have him answer the questions in the comments down below. But we had a great time, so thanks so much for showing this and playing with me and teaching everybody. Real
Oh, it's my
quick
pleasure.
game. I
Thank you
mean,
for
I
having me
picked
again.
it up
Thank
in
you for
like,
everybody who piped in.
yeah, 10 minutes to teach somebody and you're off and going. So I love that.
Yeah, it's not a hard game, and as you can see, there's a lot of variability and hopefully
A lot
replayability.
of replayability for
Yeah,
sure. So we're looking definitely probably later 2022 release on this. So we'll look forward to hear more information
as soon as
about
I
it.
give Mike the thumbs up, I suspect White Dog will get it out fast. So,
Great.
yep,
Great to know. Well, I appreciate Greg and Josh and Mike and Todd and Fred and everybody coming out tonight and enjoying. Hopefully, we showed you the gameplay. And like I said, if you have any questions, just post them down below, and Herman will check back and see if he gets some of those answered. If not, I'll just
absolutely.
email him any questions. And so thanks everybody. Hope this was a good introduction to Volters Lead the Way. So thank you, Mr. Luttmann, and
Thank you. And we can do this again if people like doing this kind of stuff. If you want to see a game in its raw form as it gets developed, I mean, I'd be happy to do this. If people enjoy watching this kind of thing, we could do it.
sounds great.
All
Well,
right.
everybody have a great evening, and we'll see
Thank
you
you.
all Saturday. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye now.